What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance. This is part 2 of season 7, episode 2. And the title of this episode is They Don't Know. Starting off with Robert. So Robert is preparing for Annie's arrival by decorating his place. He's excited to see Annie and also for Bryson to see her and just to see how they'll interact with one another because everything so far has been over FaceTime. On the way to pick Annie up from the airport, he calls himself having a talk with Bryson, but his son is just too young to really understand what's going on. We all know, especially kids that age, they're very wishy-washy. They can talk to you on the phone, love you, and then when you see them in person, it's like they might not like you. They're up and down. 1 minute they like you, 1 minute they don't. So when they arrive to the airport, they're waiting for quite a bit. And Bryson starts throwing a tantrum in the airport. Now, we all know some kids, I'm not going to say all kids, but some kids, they start getting antsy after a while. You know, they can't stay in the same place for long periods of time like a grown-up would. So like I said, he's throwing a tantrum in the airport and they've been waiting for a long time, but she finally arrives. Annie claims that she fell in love with Robert quickly, adding that she's hoping to have a big family with Robert. She also gives a little backstory to how she lost her mom. And when she lost her mom, she felt like she lost everything. She talks about how family is important to her. They show pictures of her family. And so it only makes me believe that much more that she's definitely using him. Now, one of my subscribers pointed out that Robert is also using her, and I completely agree with that. I agree that Robert is using her as well. He wants a nanny. I agree with that. He wants a housewife. He wants someone to take care of his child. And he also wants someone that will help keep the bed warm. So, I mean, he's trying to give his son that family. So he's using her as well. And she's using him to see what she can get out of him. She wants that green card. And I'm sure she's definitely going to want to send money and eventually get some of her family members over to the States if that's if they want to come over as well. Let's move on to Tania and Syngin. So Tania says that she has these surprises lined up for Syngin. And when they arrive back to the room, next thing you know, I see two people tagging along. It's her friends, of course, the ones who came along to this trip to help her set up and get ready for his arrival. So Syngin basically has to kick them out because they're just standing there. They come following them like little ducks, like, you know, the little ducks follow the mommy and daddy, come waddling in right behind them into the hotel. Now, anybody else with common sense would know, okay, my friend, her loved one just got into town. We're going to give them some privacy for a day or two. We're on this trip. But no, they don't do that. They're waddling behind Syngin and Tania. During their interview with the camera crew, they say that Tania told them that she's going to need 2 hours alone. So sure thing, 2 hours later, a knock on the door and it's them. I mean, if it were me, like I said, I would have given them their space, but these girls obviously want some camera time, or maybe it's just the fact that Tania told them that she would need them. She didn't really set guidelines, or she didn't really give them a plan of how things were going to flow. So moving on, I was done when Tania blindfolded Syngin and he was rocking that purse. The way he had his hand on that purse and was swinging back and forth, I was like, oh, wow. I thought it was hilarious. So she takes him to Times Square. And has her friends hold up a banner, and he thought it was a wonderful gesture. He loved the gesture. Let's move on to Michael and Juliana. So it's the day for Juliana to have a visa interview. Michael is nervous because she was denied twice for the visitor's visa. Juliana's hoping everything will work out, and she adds that she's positive but still scared. So 2 hours later, when she comes out, Juliana says that the interview was bad and they insulted her. The agent wanted to know if she's been working as a prostitute. Now, this came out of her mouth. When they get inside their car, Michael says that he uses the word escort, okay? So Juliana says that she's a model and a professional. So, of course, she's traveled the world. So Michael goes on this rant saying that he's not a pimp and adds that he's going to talk to his lawyer about the matter because he didn't like the way they insulted Juliana. Michael says that he's had much heartbreak from women in the past, but he doesn't feel like he doesn't know her. Now, he really doesn't know her. She even said it in her one-on-one time with the camera crew that she's basically a stranger to him. So it just makes you wonder the timelines in which they tell us how they met and how long it's been. Sometimes I feel like that's a lie. Let's move on to Anna and Mursel. So Anna and Mursel and her son go to meet up with Anna's mother for lunch. Mursel seems to be like another one of Anna's kids, another one of the boys, and not a man ready for marriage and a family. When they're walking in, she's dragging him, and he's like a little kid, like you walking your son in, y'all going to have lunch. It's just, I don't know. I just don't get man vibes, a man that can protect, a man that can provide, a man that is going to be a great father figure for your boys. I just don't get that vibe from him. I get little boy, and I wouldn't be surprised if in Turkey he still lived at home with his mom and daddy. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm feeling. You guys comment down below and let me know, what vibes are you getting from Mursel? So moving on, Anna's mother is concerned about her daughter. So she shares some of her concerns, and using the Google Translator app, her mom questions her daughter on how Mursel's family feels about her kids. Anna says that he doesn't want to tell his family about her kids. This just adds on to the red flags popping up, that she's blocking. Okay, that she's choosing to be blind to. He adds that his family can hinder their love. I guess in Turkey and with his religion, it is frowned upon having kids without being married in his religion. So her mom, she doesn't feel that it's going to work out. And she isn't confident in Mursel choosing her daughter if push comes to shove. Her mom is getting all of the questions answered that Anna herself, she should have gotten before applying for his visa. Mursel says he may go back if his parents don't accept Anna and her having kids. Let's go back to Robert and Anny. So Robert says that it's his job to make Anny happy since she doesn't have family in Florida. Now, you gotta be careful of that. When you said that, Anny said it in front of her. So you remember those words, because this chick right here seems like she is very materialistic. And when she wants what she wants, she expects to get it. So when they get back to his place, he tells her Bryson will be sharing the bed with them. Bryson doesn't even have his own room. To me, what he should have done was prepared. If he doesn't have another room in that place, in that apartment, he should have gotten a little bed that he could roll out, a nice little bed for him, and put it on the other side of the room. You say you've only known them for 8 or 9 hours and you propose to them. So you don't know them. Basically, they're a stranger. You're having them come to your home. You have a little kid, basically a toddler, and you want her and your toddler to share the same bed. This is, it's very frustrating because I don't understand. Everybody claims they're doing things for their kids. They're putting their kids first, but I don't see that. So he then attempts to put Bryson to bed while him and Anny chill in the living room. And all of a sudden, you hear Bryson yelling out for Anny. I want Anny. He's saying he wants Anny. Really what I think it is he just doesn't want to be, either he didn't want to be alone and he's seen they were out there and he was still up and he's probably used to when he lays down, his dad lays down as well. Or maybe it's possible that he is longing for a mother and it could have been something that Robert was putting in his head. You know, Annie's coming. She's going to be your new mommy. I don't know what people do. But either way, something is going on and it's just not right. Like I said, he attempts to put him to bed and all of a sudden Bryson is yelling. He keeps yelling that he wants Anny. Then eventually things get out of hand. His son clearly has no discipline and Robert allows him to get away with a lot. He's jumping all over the couch and all over Anny. And it's embarrassing. Well, if I were Robert, I'd be embarrassed for someone to see just how little control I have over my child. I would want my kids to act right. If company is coming around, they would be sitting down. They would have a routine. He obviously doesn't have a routine. A lot of times, sometimes kids act backed out because that mother is missing. I don't know the history, but he says he came home one day and the mom was gone. I don't know any mom that would just up and leave their child. I mean, the little boy is very young. So I don't know any mom that would be okay with just leaving their child. Normally, you know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but normally women, they'll take their child, but she just left. So I don't know what Robert and his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife's relationship was, but this is not good. This is not good at all. Let's go back to Michael and Juliana. So now they need a police clearing document to submit. So another step until she can get her visa. Well, hopefully she'll be able to get her visa. Michael says that she has a 50-50% chance of getting this visa. He says if she can't get to the States, he'll have to do some soul searching and make some hard decisions. Juliana is worried that if she doesn't get the visa, Michael will give up on her because she doesn't feel that she's important. During her one-on-one time with the camera crew, she started to cry. I really just don't know how to feel about this couple here. I really don't. It's too much going on with all of these couples for real. So I really need to hear your thoughts on each one of these couples. I try to be very neutral when it comes to these couples. So I need to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Share with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiance. This was part 2 of season 7, episode 2, and the title was They Don't Know. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time that I make an upload. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.